Everyone loves to travel, but if you've looked at prices within the past couple of years, you know just how expensive it's become. Sure, there are things that you can do to save money, but there are some areas you shouldn't pull back on, according to our next guest, Annie Campoli, who is with TD Insurance. Thanks for joining us, Annie.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. So let's begin there with the price of travel, because it has gotten very expensive.
Indeed. And since the pandemic, prices really haven't gone down. And it's the holiday season, so obviously it's getting even more expensive. But according to a survey conducted on behalf of TD Insurance, 68% of Canadians are still planning to travel in the next 12 months. But to make that happen, they're finding ways to cut costs so that they can actually get on that trip and keep prioritizing.
All right, let's talk a bit more about that if we can. Where's the first place people look to bring down the total cost of a trip?
Well, that would be travel insurance. And if we go back to the 68% of Canadians that are actually traveling, a third of them actually confirm that it's exactly that they would skip on. They would not be purchasing travel insurance. So we can understand that, yes, it's going to be tempting. Some are going to go to travel insurance and just cut that out to make the budget work for them, but it could really pose risk. So we encourage travelers to really look at the options so that they can travel with confidence.
And it's often the younger travelers who kind of feel invincible and, oh, nothing's going to happen to me. But that's where you really want to get the message across.
Absolutely.
To be careful.
Totally. They need to be careful. And some of them are finding other ways to cut costs, like they're foregoing dining out. They're going to think twice about getting that new wardrobe for the upcoming vacation. But according to the survey, if you look at just like $300 a cost, most of them said if there's that out-of-pocket expense that should come up, they said they simply wouldn't be able to cover. And if we look at, for example, you get sick, you're on vacation, you need a prescription, you need to go to the hospital. These bills can get up there very, very fast. And if they have insurance, it could cover those.
Because those hospital stays, I think we've all seen stories in the news, sometimes total thousands of dollars, but depending where you're visiting, where you're going, it could actually cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Absolutely. The cost can be really, really high up there. But I also want to touch on, it's not just the medical bill. Think of travel disruptions. You're about to travel, you plan for everything, but you cannot plan for travel disruptions. And when you look at the survey that we've conducted, travelers that actually came into contact, like a travel disruption, a flight being canceled, the cost is on average $2,600 that they had to pay out of pocket. If they would have had travel insurance, it could cover that cost.
Okay, so what is your best advice? What are your tips for travelers right now?
Yes. Well, first tip would be don't skip on travel insurance. Second would be some travelers already have great tips. They're foregoing dining out. They're not necessarily buying that new clothes. And if you are traveling, we encourage travelers to look at what are the events that are going on that are free. Those are great ways to cut costs. And I would say the last tip is contact your insurance advisor to really find out what are the travel insurance coverages out there so you can travel confidently.
Yeah, would you say the overall message, Annie, is that it might cost you a little bit more up front, but you know, if something does happen, it could actually end up being a pretty big savings?
Absolutely. It's going to go a long way, and it's going to protect you from unexpected events.
Annie, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
This portion of the morning show is brought to you by TD Insurance. To learn more, visit tdinsurance.com.